The Chicago Bulls play in their 27th clutch game of the year, and they find a way to beat the Miami Heat. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's game. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so tonight, the Chicago Bulls were able to come back after being down as many as 17 points. There were some amazing performances in this game, definitely led by Josh Giddey, who had his third triple-double in a Chicago Bulls uniform. And so before we go ahead and jump into the box score and look at the key takeaways from tonight's game, wanted to remind you that, 71.5% of you are not subscribed to the channel. So like Modest Buzelis did in tonight's game, make sure you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button for us, as it means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the box score and look at the key takeaways from tonight's game. And so we always like to start with the MVPs on the night. And so my first MVP is going to go to Josh Giddey. Look, Josh Giddey has his third triple-double in a Chicago Bulls uniform, but more importantly, he essentially called game with a three-point shot that ended the Miami Heat. And so look, 26 points on the night from Josh Giddey. He had 10 rebounds, he had 12 assists, he had a steal, he had a block shot, he was plus 26 in the plus-minus box score, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, and then he also, too, was 5 of 6 from the free throw line in 37 minutes. And so, look, Josh Giddey, once again, he starts off rebounding the basketball well. He did a great job as far as really setting the table for this team. He had an excellent lob to Modest Buzelis. That was very nice in this game. And the block shot that he had, really, he was coming back from behind. So he was, a little bit behind getting back to defense. And then he was able to get a swat from behind block that was critical for us. And it was at a critical junction of the game. So defensively, look, he was active there. And then again, his shot making ability. I think that if you got a chance to watch this game, the one thing that Josh Giddey has really done well is he's done a great job as far as getting downhill. We went cold in this game, and Josh Giddey continued to be relentless as far as driving the ball to the basket. And look, he got it in there, and he was either fouled or he finished. And so, look, Josh Giddey once again continues to play strong for the Chicago Bulls. And look, man, he's just been on a tear, really, this stretch. And I've loved the way that he stepped up. I continue to say it. Look, I think that he has probably been the Bulls' best player since Zach Lavine has been traded. And you just see the confidence with him. He seems to be comfortable. Everybody else is in sync with him as well. And so, look, Josh Giddey, got to give him a ton of credit on the night for his play. I thought, look, he was fantastic for us. And so next up, I wanted to go ahead and jump into my next MVP of the night, and that has to go to Tre Jones. I think that Tre Jones was spectacular tonight. Look, 15 points. He had 5 assists, 5 rebounds. He had 2 steals. He had a block shot. He was plus 14 on the night. He was 7 of 11 from the field, 7 of 11 from the field. He was 1 of 1 from downtown in 33 minutes. And so once again, Tre Jones having to step up into the starting role. And what I loved about just Tre Jones is, look, he had 13 points in the fourth quarter, which was a career high for him. Look, Tre Jones continued to finish against the bigger player. He had a huge rebound in between Tyler Hero and Bam, and then put the basketball back into the basket. And then also, too, he had a huge steal in this game. His activity was great. And you just love Tre Jones because, look, Tre Jones has the calming effect on the offense as well, much like Alonzo. Those guys, look, the basketball IQ, you can see it. And look, defensively, I think he's a lot better than maybe anticipated. I think he's done a great job there. And so, look, Tre Jones was huge for us, and he came up big in the fourth quarter. So I've got to give him an MVP on the night. And so next up, look, I have got to give it to Zac Colins. Look, Zac Colins came back after fouling out, on on making sure that he was knocking down his shots. Because look, I think he had maybe 9 3-point shots to go in coming into this thing. He was 4 of 6 tonight, and so he was letting it fly. 6 of 11 from the field, 32 points. He had 32 minutes. He had 18 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists. I love the physicality from Zac Colins, and I just love the aggressive nature from him. And so I think he's been terrific in the starting lineup. And so those were my 3 MVPs on the night. And so next I wanted to go ahead and just jump into the box score, and let's start with Modest Buzelis. And so look, Modest Buzelis, I think he played a good game. I mean, I know it wasn't spectacular, but look, 13 points. He had 5 rebounds. He had an assist in 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. So he did struggle from downtown. But more importantly, he played 32 minutes. And he also leads the team now in dunks because he has 47 dunks on the year. That is impressive considering that Modest Buzelis really wasn't getting the time like that. I just talked about just a spectacular, I think, alley-oop from Josh Giddey to Modest Buzelis. That was a great scene to see, and so that was good. And then there was one play where Andrew Wiggins goes to jump the pick and roll screen, and it was just a beautiful move that Modest Buzelis puts on, because I've been talking about his handle, and it almost like a hesitation, like he's going to go to the screen. It was a quick move, and he steps through, and it was a nice dunk right there. So Modest Buzelis, look, continues to show signs as a rookie. I think the sky's the limit for him. I know it wasn't a spectacular game, but it certainly was a good one, and has us seeing that he's trending in the right direction. And so next up, look, Coby White. Look, I know that it was a negative 11 in the plus-minus box score from Coby White, but look, I am so impressed with Coby White because he goes out, he gets you another 20-point game. He has 21 in this one. He has 3 rebounds. He had 3 assists. He was 6 of 16. He was 0 of 8 from downtown, but more importantly, he was 9 of 9 from the free throw line, and I think that he did a terrific job as far as getting to the free throw line and just drawing contact. He had a couple and ones in this game, and I think he's a lot stronger when it comes down to drawing contact and finishing, and so that was very impressive with Coby White in his 33 minutes. But what I am most impressed with Coby White is just how him and Josh Giddey worked well in this game. If you go back and you look at the final possession, there's a rebound. Josh Giddey gets the ball. Initially, he's waving everybody to go down the court, and then Coby White wants the basketball. Josh Giddey gives it up to him, and then Coby White comes down. He starts to try to work at the top of the key, doesn't have anything going, and then eventually the ball gets kicked over to Josh Giddey for the winning 3-point shot, and I just love the trust that they had between one another. You can see that, look, when it is good and these guys are on the same page, this is something that can definitely work. And so I thought that we got a chance to see that small sample size in this game. And so that was good to see the backcourt connected, working well together. Definitely has some upside. And so next up, I wanted to go ahead and look at the bench. And so with Jalen Smith, look, I think that he did a terrific job in his minutes. It was a negative 8. I get it. But he still had 2 blocks on the day, 7 points, 4 rebounds. I think there was a ton of box outs that he had that I thought were good as far as his box outs and things like that. And so his activity level was great. 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. Still, I think it was a solid game in 16 minutes. With Dalen Terry, look, I think that just with him, it was just the energy, okay? Because he did have the 3 points. He had the 1 rebound, a negative 23 as far as the plus-minus box score in the 8 minutes. But still, I loved his energy, and he didn't hurt us on the floor. So I like that with Dalen Terry. Julian Phillips, the same thing. I think that he came in. Those guys were active, 3 rebounds in his 13 minutes. Yes, the scoring wasn't there. He was 0 of 2, but still, I think that they gave us some good minutes. THT, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He was +1. And then Kevin Huerter. So Kevin Huerter, I think he's done a great job in coming back from the injury that he was, had with the knee or whatnot. And look, he continues to be more comfortable with this offense, and it was coming off the bench tonight. I think that his activity defensively, you got a chance to just see his length really And that was good to see from Kevin Huerter because his activity was there. He had 3 steals. He was plus 14, knocked down some big shots for us. Only 1 of 9 from 3, but still, I think that his shots were at critical points of the game. He was 4 of 13 from the field, and I like the activity that I'm seeing from Kevin Huerter as of late. And so with that, I think it was just a great win for the Chicago Bulls. I led with the fact that this is their 27th clutch game here. And look, this is the first time that they have won back-to-back games in 11 weeks. And so you got to give this team a lot of credit. They continue to keep fighting. And so this was great to see. And so let's go ahead and jump into now the team box score and looking at some of the key takeaways there. And so when we look at the team box score, look, I think that we have some good takeaways that we could take out of this one. And so let's start with the fact that, look, the Chicago Bulls did, I think, a terrific job as far as rebounding the basketball, 51-44. That is very good considering that the Miami Heat, they really have some good length up court, up front for them, with Khalil Ware. They got Bam. They definitely have a lot more size than our team. And so it was good to see that the rebounding efforts were there for the Bulls. 10-9 as far as the Bulls in the turnover department. So we talk about that often. The Bulls do lead that. But still, 10 turnovers, not bad. They're going to happen in the course of the basketball game. And look, some of these turnovers you can get. You understand what they were trying to do. And so, clearly we have to clean that up. But still, 10-9, the Bulls lead in that. 18-15, Bulls lead in the fast break department. I think that was one of the things that really kept us in the game was the ability to get out in the fast break, in the transition game. And so I think that as this team becomes a lot better, more experienced with this style of play that they have, really picked up, I think that this is something that this team can really run with, especially just seeing Buzelis out in the open court. That was great. And so next, 7-6 as far as the Heat and the steals. So they were more active there. 5-4 Heat and block shots, and so they did a good job as far as that is concerned. And then when you look at the field goal percentage, look, 45.5% from the field. You'll notice that, look, the Bulls were 26.2 from 3, and so it was a struggle shooting the 3 ball. But, the Bulls almost gave this one away. But the great thing, what they did was they recognized that, look, they had to get downhill, get to the basket. They did that, and that was the difference in this one. The Heat, 42.3% from the field. They shot a little bit better from 3, 30.2% from 3. In fact, it looked like that they were going to really maybe shoot the ball that well to kind of knock the Bulls out of this game, especially with Terry Rozier, the way that he was playing. But look, ultimately the Bulls were able to take care of business, 27 assists to 40 field goals made. So that's not bad as far as the assists to field goal makes. And so look, this was a great gutsy win for the Chicago Bulls. Again, it was back and forth. I think there might have been up to maybe 9 lead changes or whatnot. And so that was wild to see. Just a lot of good stuff out of this one. Look, you had Buzelis, who now leads us in dunks here. He's got 12 dunks, 12 or 13 dunks now over the last 4 games. And so his activity's been great there. At one point between Josh Giddey, Buzelis, and Zac Colins, this was in the third quarter, they had accounted for 69 of the 48 points. And so, just tremendous scoring outputs from all 3 of those players throughout the game. Obviously, it was a team effort. And then the Bulls make 1,000 threes in a season. I believe that's the first time maybe in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken there. So that was good to see with the Bulls to do that. And then you had, Josh Giddey here, the triple-double, third as a Chicago Bull there. And so that was great to see. He makes some more history in those regards. And so, look, this was a great win. Again, I know we're trending towards the play-in situation, but as a fan, bottom line is I like to see this team win, and I don't care who you draft because ultimately speaking, even if you get a Cooper Flag or the best player in the draft coming out, if you're not setting the principle, the winning habits, they're not there. It doesn't matter who you're going to draft. You're putting them in a situation where they're going to fail. And then we know also, too, the other half of that is that this team needs to get the right direction as far as just shaping out the roster. That's something that is going to be, a process. But The bottom line is you need to have these winning habits. That's what Billy Donovan talks about all the time. And that's what you love to see with this team is just the effort that they have continued to show. Because look, regardless if they get beat by 20 or they win by 20, this is something that translates as you start to build this team out and hopefully become a contender again. And so let me know in the comments what you think here about this win. I think that this was a great one. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. And as I always say, go Bulls, and I will see you on the next one. All right, peace.